Hi everyone, today we're talking about independent versus dependent variables. As a reminder, you do not need to write down everything that will be covered in this video, but be sure to jot down important information and at least one example of each type of problem that we'll cover. Also remember that you can pause the video to jot down important notes, rewind to view information again, and fast forward if you think you got it. Be careful, make sure you don't fast forward too much that you miss out on something important. So independent and dependent variables might be something that you have learned before in science class. In math, we also use independent and dependent variables because we're using math to kind of track how independent and dependent variables change. So in math, we like to think about independent and dependent variables like cause and effect. So independent variables are going to change on their own, and then when they do change, they're going to cause a change in the dependent variable. So you want to think about the independent variable happening first or changing first, and then causing like a chain reaction to your dependent variable. So cause and then effect, independent then dependent. Some people like to remember it not just with cause and effect, but with the first letters, so I and then D, so like ID. Independent comes first, and then it's going to change the dependent variable. Make sure you have this jotted down in your notes, and then we're going to go over some examples to practice. All right, in this example, it says that you are doing chores to earn your allowance. For each chore you do, you earn $3. In the equation below, C is the number of chores that you do, and D is the number of dollars that you earn. The relationship between these two variables can be expressed by the following equation. D equals 3 times C. Identify the dependent and independent variables. So you need to figure out which one's independent, which one's dependent. So I want to think to myself, which one is going to cause the other one to change? So I have a cause and an effect. And remember, it's the independent that changes the dependent, so ID. So I have two different scenarios. It's either the number of chores that I do that causes my dollars to change, or it's the amount that I earn, my dollars, that's going to cause my chores to change. If you said that it's this one, you are correct. Yeah, the amount of chores that I complete is going to change the amount of dollars that I earn. The more chores that I do, the more dollars that I earn. The less chores I do, the less dollars I earn. It doesn't make sense that the more dollars I earn, it's going to affect and make me do more chores, right? So I have to do those chores first in order to get the money. It's not the money first that's going to cause me to do more chores. So I and then D. The first one that had to happen is your chores, and that's going to change the amount of dollars that you earn. Independent, then dependent. So if you look at this equation here, it's basically the dollars that I earn is going to equal to 3 times the hours of chores that I do. So if I worked for 1 hour, because this says that C is the number of chores, the number of chores I do. So if I do 1 chore, then I multiply that by 3 and I would get $3. If I complete, let's say, 10 chores, then 3 times 10, I would earn $30. So it's 3 extra dollars each time I do a chore. Okay, so that's all that equation is telling us. If I change the amount of chores, I'm going to multiply that amount by my 3, and that's going to give me my dollars that I earn. Let's try one last one. When it's raining outside, you tend to stay in and watch TV. The number of hours of TV that you watch in a given week is twice the number of rainy days in that week. In the equation below, y is the number of hours of TV you watch in a week, and x is the number of rainy days in that week. The relationship between these two variables can be expressed by the following equation. Y equals 2x. Identify the dependent and independent variables. So pause the video and try this one on your own. All right, so again, we're trying to figure out which one is going to cause the other one to change. Is it the number of rainy days in a week that's going to change the number of hours that you watch TV? Or is it the number of hours that you watch TV that's going to change the number of rainy days in a week? Okay. If you chose rainy days, that's going to cause the TV to change. You are correct. The rainy days are independent, and they're going to cause your hours of TV that you watch in a week to change. The hours of TV that you watch in a week are dependent on the rainy days. So the D stands for dependent. It depends on the other one. Because the more rainy days there are in a week, the more chances that you're going to end up staying at home and you're going to watch TV. If you stay at home and watch TV, it has no effect on whether it's rainy or sunny outside. So they're saying that the rainy days are going to cause you to watch more TV, not you watching more TV. It's going to cause the weather to change outside. Okay? And same thing with this equation here. The X is the number of rainy days that week. So let's say there are 4 rainy days that week. 4 times 2 equals 8. Then the chances are that you're probably going to watch 8 hours of TV. If there is only 1 rainy day that week, 2 times 1 is 2, you're probably only going to watch 2 hours of TV that week. Okay? Because it's going to be such good weather, you're going to want to go to the beach and everything like that. All right, that's just based on this equation. You might be at home thinking, no, that's not true for me at all. But remember, we're just looking at this problem and what makes sense here. Okay? So let me know if you have any questions as you work on these problems at home, and I will see you in class.